Hi everyone, I'm Roger Montserrat, Director at Level Up Game Dev Hub. We've got something really cool to share today. Our 5 latest projects from the 4th edition of our Pre-Incubation Program. Before we jump in, let's take a quick look at what Level Up is all about. Here's a short video to introduce you to our community and what we do. Liking what you see? Stick around to check out our latest projects and learn more about them. Our teams and staff are in the chat, so feel free to drop your thoughts and questions. And don't forget to share your favorite moments with your teammates and industry friends. So let's talk a little bit about our pre-incubation program that we are running with the support of many different entities like the Catalonia government, of the culture department, the European Union funds, and the Ministry of Culture of the government from Spain. As you can see here, we have many other partners that are helping us to run every year edition, like game studios from Spain, some studios from the previous editions, even, for example, main associations from the video game development in Spain, or other kind of providers that are very specialized in different aspects, like game press, or maybe data laying, or for example coaching, or even game jam creators, or other kind of associations, even marketing studios, or different aspects of specialization that are giving us support in many contents of our program. Level Up has 4 different business lines to run our hub. One of them are the incubation program, where we can see here. This is the details that I'm going to explain in a little bit. But for making this happen, we have this ecosystem based in other 3 aspects. One of them is the free content that we are creating every month, like in the nickname of Level Up Game Dev Academy, which is they are usually free masterclasses or podcast content, interviewing specialists from the game industry, free courses that we have in our website, and many other contents that we are doing every year, like the Pitch and Match or the Game Jam, which are events that help many developers every year to discover advanced topics, or make network, or practice the game development. The other business line that we are offering is the Level Up Game Studios, which is our own video game studio based on our own expertise, and usually we are creating games, shaping teams based in our ex-alumni, or maybe our ex-beneficiary of the incubation program, making partnerships with beneficiaries or other teams, and procuring to create interesting opportunities and publishing options in our own IP video games. And for the last part, we have the bootcamps, which are the premium education that we are offering to create specialized online and live contents for 5 different areas: the game design, the game programming, the technical art, and the business development. And I think I'm not forgetting anything else, but at the end of the day, is all the areas: art, design, code, business, and technical art. So the pre-incubation program, as you can see here, is a program, an itinerary that support teams in their consolidation process as a video game studio. We are accepting every year 6 teams. Along 10 months, we are offering 60 hours of private mentoring sessions and 100 hours of specialized training in the 5 main areas to create video games. We are attending at 4 events. One of them is a physical event here in Barcelona, which is the Indie Dev Day, the most biggest indie fair of the south of Europe. And we are sponsoring that event and attending with a big booth with our teams and our own projects. And the other 3 events are online live events that we are arranging with the national network community of Level Up and international followers, maybe some company owners, like sometimes publishers, sometimes other developers, to give you feedback, to play test your games, to pitch your projects, look for investors and practice your product management in order to achieve your business goals. We have a weekly support of different experts in marketing, production, art, programming, and many other specialties in private format online through our platform. And then you have additional private mentoring sessions for your team in the requirements that your project needs. And let's continue explaining a little bit more. This is our different areas that we are developing the expertise with our own mentors. As you can see here, we have 2 different areas. One, which is the bluish one, is more for business development, marketing, communication, production, strategic marketing, public relations, and legal and financial tax support. And the other ones are more the creative and technical areas like video game design, user experience, user interface design, programming in Unreal or Unity, or preparing your art direction, not only in visuals but sound and music, and for sure specific mentorings in environment art, in VFX or technical art, and animation. Here we have some of our mentors. All of them are enjoying about 5 to 15, even more years of experience in their area, and all of them has been repeating every year since the last 4 years in Level Up, sharing their know-how, sharing their network, sharing their tips and tricks, and it's a nice opportunity to start your development with these mates that have a lot of know-how, and they are very close, very personal relationship in our program to understand how to deploy your games, how to prepare your products, how to sell your products, how to positionate your game in the market. We are almost from 20 to 30 mentors at the moment of this record video. These are our key factors that make Level Up different from other programs that you can find in Europe. This is very important because, as you can see here, there are many different aspects that you can consider quite unique. One of them are the long-term relationship as partners that we are constructing the close treatment and feeling of belonging to our community, because we are creating activities and network activities to share your network. No, the project defined by the team itself. So we are not modifying the basement of the project that you want to create, but we are just offering you pivot ideas, or maybe insights that can be useful for you to make a minimum viable product, to make it much more profitable, much more scalable, much more healthy. But at the end of the day, is your own project. Then we get involved and follow the evolution, not only along the program but after the program, because we are very interested in being partners in your future project or your company. And that's one of the opportunities that make you grow with a nice crew in your own company, in case of you are interested to create a studio. There's activities to build community and partnerships. As I told you before, entrepreneur vision, not only a video game. So we are offering a company vision, giving you a depth vision of how you can be scalable, how you can be viable in terms of company, not only to create the game itself. Then we help in the professionalization of the team and its partners. We are offering a big level up in terms of enter to the professional layer of the industry. Access to very specific resources that we have. We've been gathering many resources in terms of know-how, templates, documents, studios, insights, tools that we have in our own repository of knowledge and resources that we are going to give you access. Then it's possible to build synergies between teams, mentors and partners, because the focus is to create co-productions in the future, maybe to create new projects that you can make with other partners in Level Up, or maybe other teams that has been in Level Up, because at the end of the day we have a network that you will be inside and you will discover opportunities through this network. And for sure access to the industry networking, because starting from the 25-30 mentors on this program, you will have fast access to interesting contacts from the companies, the big and medium companies from Europe in gaming. Here you can see the two stages from our roadmap, from our program roadmap. In the very first stage, from March to September, we are suggesting, in the initial auditory, in the initial strategy plan, you are gonna consent, you are gonna discuss with us and find the balance between how much of these target goals are interesting to you, and why maybe should be done those ones, or lower ones, or better fewer ones, depending on your progression, depending on your moment of your game, of your project. But this is gonna be like the maximum goals that we are gonna give you know-how and resources and mentorships and training. And in the second stage, from September to December, there's these other parts. As you can see, all of them are focusing in the technical way to pitch, the commercial way to show this pitch, in an early stage, how to prepare the script, how to prepare the polishing way of the polished version of this pitch, because at the end of the day you have to brand it, a high-level production plan to prepare all the sub goals of your sub deadlines or milestones of your production, the video game's financial plan, how you're gonna fund it, where will you find the money in order to fund the game, how to study the market in order to discover insights, how to prepare your marketing plan, your communications, your operational plan in order to launch the game, to release the game, how to create your game design document, how to structure it in an optimal way, not overkilling with additional documentation, how to prepare the partner agreement, because this is very important, to prepare a partner agreement that gives you legal security, legal safety of your content, of your contribution to the creation of your company, no? or your future company. This is very important to have some partner agreement ready to go, no? Then how to pitch and scout publishers, partners, providers, new partners, wherever you are looking for in online events. You're gonna practice this pitch and scout. And then the vertical slice that you're gonna prepare, maybe one, maybe two versions, depending on the progression of your team and the status of entry point in the program. One of them are for the testing day in Level Up, and the other one is for fair events, no? For pitching and scouting in an online fair event. And then in the second stage, as you can see here, is the guidance to constitute a company, an European company, no? With legal requirements and recommendations of how to prepare that. The pitch deck itself as a polished version with marketing, graphical details and assets, no? To showcase your product in the best way. The low-level production plan, more detailed in order to arrive to your deadlines, describing your development pipeline, looking for the most optimal pipeline in your company, no? In your game. Studio financial plan, instead of preparing the financial plan of the video game, a financial plan for your own company, no? For the rest of the ways of how your company it's gonna be self-funded, no? For other maybe financial sources, services, work for hire, additional products, and opportunities that you can find for funding, no? Your company and be more viable. The operational marketing plan in a more detailed way, not so early like the first stage. The long deck in the case of you want to enlarge your pitch deck, and two different vertical slices, one for fair events in testing for booths, and the other one for the final testing day in Level Up that we are gonna do at the end of the program. And at the end of the program, the same online demo day that we are now celebrating here as a way to showcase your projects abroad over internet. Arriving to the final of my explanation, now you can. I want to share with you our 4 main activities that we are offering in the brand of Level Up Game Dev Academy. No, one of them are the Level Up Game Jam. We have the biggest game jam at this point in Spain. In the last edition, we had about 100 video games submitted and about 400 to 500 participants, if I don't remember, or if I remember more or less. And then we have the Pigeon Match, which is an event that we are going to celebrate in the upcoming days, and it's perfect to pitch your project and showcase your ideas in a safety way, in a comfy space in our Discord server, where you can get feedback from our mentors and our specialists in our community. If you want to try about your game and see what's going on, if you can prepare it as a commercial product, that's the event you want to do not miss. Then you have the podcast, which is, this point is in Spanish, but you have the opportunity to discover many know-how, many interesting interviews, which almost all of them are like master classes in many different areas. And then you have the same master classes itself, originally in a marathon format that we did in a yearly basis. Then we've been publishing master classes online in our website that you can enjoy. Usually are for free and online and live, and then we post them. We publish them recorded ones in our online learning platform, where you can access without no problem in any moment. So let's continue. Let's dive in. And remember, our teams are in the chat, so feel free to ask them anything and share your thoughts about their projects.
Hello, my name is Pablo. I'm the producer and game designer of Hopeless Studio, and today I'm going to present our first and new game, No Choice. No Choice is a conversational adventure where you, the player, takes on the role of a taxi driver who must uncover which of their passengers is a serial killer. All of this during a war that is taking the city to the ground. As you can see, No Choice is a very narrative-driven adventure where you must talk and speak with each one of your passengers, taking choices and selecting which one of them fits better with their personality. So they can give you more information about what actions or what motivation could they have to act like a criminal. Also, there are some external sources of information, like this newspaper, that is presented at the beginning of the day, and can give you some extra details about some characters or some extra background information about these plots that you encounter with inside the taxi cab. You can speak with more than 10 different passengers that won't have only a trip. They can come back multiple times, and you will see their evolution throughout the game. Also, with the city environment that is, like I said, like it's going hell and it's escalating in terms of violence and abusing. As you can see in this graph, we want to make choices as something that matters. So every choice conduct a new path because we want to make them relevant. So this is just a one trip regular chat that diverges in 7 different endings, and this is only one of the 10 characters that I said that it's inside the game. You can have these choices locked or unlocked by information that previous passengers gave you, but also by items or even money. They can ask you for money to give you information. This gives the game a management system, a management mechanic that evolves around this taxi driver job. So you can have items, you can give items, you can buy items inside a shop, and you can spend the money that you earn by taking these passengers to their destiny, also to have these items that I told you about. Our main goal was to have a complete freedom to act. We don't want to impose anything to our players, but we want to make them conscious about that every action has its own logical consequence. The game is set in the 70s, and we mix 3 different types of art style to have this retro style. The first one is the pixel art, that it's mainly the taxi cab and the characters inside it, but also there are 2D art within the portraits and the character sheet, and finally we have a 3D low poly with plain textures for the city you can drive around. So I think that this mix of the 3 styles makes a really charming environment. This is the game loop that you will go through. You start with a new paper and you have a set number of characters, and if the day ends, you go to the shop to, as I said, sell or buy items. You have a last payment screen to give this more realistic flow, and finally you start a new day. These are some of our references. Our initial idea was to make Papers, Please inside a taxi cab, but as long as the development evolved, I think that Coffee Talk was gaining importance as a reference because of their pixel art and also how the narrative treats their characters. We want to do something quite similar. And finally, this is our team. I'm Pablo. We have also Alejandro, the pixel artist, Sara, the concept artist, Dylan, the second game designer and 3D artist, and Germán, the programmer. We estimated that this game would have around 30k of copies sold. This is based on our research only in the Steam market. So having a price around 12 euros, that is the average in this kind of games, in this type of games, a budget of around 100k would cover all our expenses, and we could focus on No Choice as a full-time project. This is the key information about the project. It's a narrative project that it's half done, more or less, and it's for crime lovers and narrative fans. And we launched the last updated on the 30th of September, so you can go to itch.io and search for it, or you can contact us if you need further information or you want to speak with the developers. Thank you so much for your attention, and I hope you liked No Choice.
¡Cadete!
¡Ya voy!
Hello everyone, my name is Alejandro Terzavi from Spylens Entertainment, and I'm going to present to you Boo and Row. So you might be wondering, what is Boo and Row? Boo and Row is a co-op 2.5D game where you need to work together to solve mysteries from the past, while making your way through natural and dangerous environments. Your goal? To reach the Abbey and save it from a great danger. However, this journey is not just about the werewolf's fate, but also helping Boo and Row rebuild their bond, weakened over time. Having said that, our game mainly focuses on the following aspects, always keeping the cooperative factor in mind. Encouraging players to help each other solve various puzzles or navigate through dangerous and challenging landscapes. Our intentions with this approach is to make our players talk to each other through their gameplay and create funny and unique interactions. Beyond its cooperative mechanics, Boo and Row also places great emphasis on storytelling. As players progress through the game, they will uncover the story behind this mysterious and dangerous world, while witnessing the evolution of the relationship between our characters. The story unfolds not just through in-game dialogues, but also through environmental and storytelling, and subtle hints that encourage players to theorize about the past events. This narrative approach adds depth to the adventure, making exploration and discovery even more rewarding. While our game is designed to be enjoyed by a pair of players, we have placed a special emphasis on making it appealing for parents and children, recognizing the limited time many parents have for gaming. We have ensured that our gameplay sessions are accessible, engaging, and rewarding even in shorted playtimes. Because of this, we see the Nintendo Switch as the ideal platform for our game, providing an easy and enjoyable way for families to connect through play. Continuing with this approach, our biggest influence are It Takes Two as a benchmark for cooperative gameplay and Planet of Lana, drawing inspiration from its camera style and, most importantly, the game's art. At this moment, we're in full production of a demo. We have already validated the game story and artistic style, laying a solid foundation on the experience we want to create. Additionally, we are close to completing the core programming required for the demo, as well as the necessary animation that will bring our characters to life. Simultaneously, we're preparing for a start to working on cinematics and voiceover to enhance the narrative and immersion. So, what are our next steps? To begin with, we plan to hold a playtesting session at the end of March to test the changes made to the project over the past few months and to generate some attention on social media. Afterwards, we will attend Guadalindy with the goal of starting our search for a publisher and securing funding for the project. We will continue this same approach throughout the rest of the year at various events, such as Gamescom, Indie Dev Day, and Bilbao Game Conference. Regardless of the result, we will use these events to build an audience on social media and gather feedback on the progress we make throughout the year. To make this happen, we've conducted a market study, which is clearly dominated by Hazlight Studios. Nevertheless, we've noticed a high success rate among cooperative games, with an average of 250,000 copies sold, in the game we've categorized as the most similar to ours. We also want to highlight a similarity in prices, generally around €20. However, one key factor that differentiates the success of cooperative games is remote play, specifically the ability to play with a friend using just one copy of the game, which is something we'll do. Finally, I'd like to introduce the team behind all this. We're currently 10 people from various departments, but thanks to our generalist background, we're able to contribute and support each other at all times. And that's all. You can follow us on social media for the latest update on the project, and feel free to leave us a message. Thank you so much.
With forbidden magic at his command, my brother forged an empire of conquest across the multiverse. But from the runes he left behind, I've gathered warriors willing to fight. The Tower's 12 may stand tall, but no throne lasts forever.
Hello, I'm Robin Jimenez, and today I'm presenting the game we've been developing during the 2024 edition of the Level Up Pre-Incubator, Towers 12. Towers 12 is a turn-based strategy game where players must manage an army of 40 unique heroes from different universes to defeat each of the 12 rulers of the tower one by one. Towers 12 is primarily designed for PC, though we believe a touch device support could be a strong opportunity. We've coined a new genre for Towers 12, post-rush strategy turn-based game, reflecting its unique mechanic, which I will detail shortly. Our target audience consists of young adults who enjoy fantasy settings and achiever players. With a 3D stylized visuals, we're opting for a premium business model with potential cosmetic microtransactions. And several resale games share mechanics similar to Towers 12 are Union of Nodes, a deck builder where you play the characters themselves, like Towers 12, Hellcard, a cooperative deck builder where each player has their own turn to play. We plan to add a co-op mode on Towers 12 soon. Song of Silence, a strategy auto-battler with a similar perspective and game feel to Towers 12. And Mori Carton, a card game where each card can execute one or two possible actions, just like heroes in Towers 12. Here we see key artwork depicting Towers 12 game screen, a portal where heroes emerge to the battle zone, and a dedicated enemy area. The core gameplay loop is structured as follows. First, the player chooses which heroes to deploy. 2. Then the player executes heroes' actions, either one or both, depending on difficulty or mode. And finally, the enemy attacks, forcing the player to defend the troops by sacrificing heroes or using previous defensive hero actions. This loop repeats until the player runs out of heroes or defeats all 12 enemies of the tower. The 40 heroes of Tower 12 are divided into 4 factions with distinct roles. Some focus on army management, summoning more heroes into battle, or reviving sacrificed allies. Others specialize in damage mechanics, either by mitigating enemy attacks or dealing massive damage. These enemies in Tower 12 are rulers of their own realms, meaning certain heroes' faction may have 0 effective bets in specific kingdoms, increasing the challenge of the game. Tower 12 offers 11 game modes. 6 of them are single player, like campaign mode, which introduces each hero individually before adding them to the roster. 3 standard modes with progressively restrictive rules in increasing difficulty. By the way, these are already fully playable. An endless mode that extends the standard game modes beyond the 12th enemy, scaling difficulty exponentially. And a daily challenge mode, where players solve preset tactical scenarios. Of them are 5 modes multiplayer, and 3 standard modes, same as single player, but up to 4 players playing in turns. 1 vs 1 competitive mode, a race to see who falls or wins first against the 12 enemies. And a co-op online daily challenge. It's a cooperative version of the daily challenge mode. In its entirety, Tower 12 features 53 unique characters, 40 heroes, 12 bosses, and 1 legendary companion. And the game takes places across 13 environments, the tutorial or the hero collection area, where players can view heroes' appearances and lore, and 12 different stages or kingdoms, each ruled by a different enemy. Our key selling points include simple mechanics and difficult mastery, because Tower 12 is easy to learn but difficult to master due to the randomization aspects of the game. Learning through your own stage generates this replayability. Unique co-op integration, with few games of this genre offers a cooperative mode that offers most of their market share personalities. Diverse character representation, this is all for one. Regardless of this physical appearance or origin, heroes unite for a shared goal. This environment storytelling, each battle takes place within the enemy's own domain, garnished with elements that contribute to the multiverse building. And expanded universe potential. Tower 12 original characters creates opportunities for transmedia expansion into books, comics, TV series, films, figurines, or board games. And we have, Tower 12 have over 1,000 achievements and unlockables that offers hundreds of hours of replay value. Our current development pace aligns with this roadmap. A key milestone is Indie Dev Day in September-October this year, 2025, and where we aim to showcase a fully playable single-player demo, a campaign mode and tutorial, and in backstage the initial online co-op infrastructure. This is the team behind Wereplatypus Game Studio. Nadia as 3D modeler character artist, Angela as 3D character and texture artist, Miguel Angel as programmer, Josh as VFX artist. He's from Peru, so we are international. And Aurora, who is as concept artist. And me, of course, Roy Jimenez as team lead and game designer. With our current full-time team, our budget estimate over 10 months is around 160k euros, covering salaries, licenses, and additional costs. Based on the comparable titles, Towers 12 will be priced between 15 and 25 euros, with projected sales ranging from 1,000 to more than 15,000 copies. That concludes our pitch for Towers 12. We are Wereplatypus Game Studio. Thanks for your time. Feel free to reach out for further inquiries.
Hello, I'm Gustavo Chico, head of Studio Notepike, and I'm here to present a project that we made this year called Victoria la Primera. It's a game about a boat and a little kid going on a big journey. It's about a real thing that happened, basically the first ship to do a full 360 around the world. It was a Spanish boat, and it's called Victoria. There was a lot of history around this event, but we kind of simplified it into a cutesy cartoon point-and-click and minigame hybrid of a game with a cartoony art style, and where there is a big focus on the boat itself and its journey and its expressiveness and connection with the main character. You basically play as the little kid from the future that travels back in time to have this journey together with this boat called Victoria, which is a hare, by the way. It's a client project, so it has some history to it. It used to be a little kid's book that was published by a graphic design studio in Sevilla, which is why we met and why they brought us this idea, and we agreed together to work and make it into a real game. The little storybook itself is very short and has very few words and details about the journey itself, mostly because it's very history rich and very complicated for children. And we tried to make a little bridge between the storybook and a fully fledged point-and-click adventure like Monkey Island, but for a younger audience, you could say. The game was also featured on like real-life virtual reality experiences and museum pieces and little showcases around Spain. So it has run its course as an IP itself, and even though it's not a bestseller, it has really made an impact in education and through high schools, and it has really helped consolidate the history of this important event where the Spanish people were first for once. And our take on it has been basically taking this history and this idea and adapting it into a concept that people can grasp from the gaming world, mostly aimed at parents, but also with some twists. Like, for example, some of the crew is here now. In the storybook, it was all cut. It was only the boat itself. And we also added this little protagonist that you can see yourself in as a little kid, and where you can dream and you can interact, and there are actually stakes on the game because you are in the body of someone. The game itself is about exploration and minigames. As I said, it's a flick on the typical point and click games, but there is obviously the twist of it being an educational game, and also having some some twists and secrets along the way. So it's not all it will not all be point and click narrative. And in general, the game is at the end about the boat itself and the protagonist. So as I said, it's alive and it talks to you, and you live through experiences with them. And there is hardship. Something may happen to them during the game, and you may need to do something about it. So there is a lot at stake, and it's quite a big journey going the whole way around the world. Lots of things will happen. Also, it's a game about Spain, so we put a lot of effort into being very diligent with the historical aspect. So everything is accurate up to the architect, like the buildings, all of the historical landscapes and backgrounds that we do. Everything technology-wise has been selected, and the dialogue is all in character as people from that age. And apart from the boat having little eyes, which is just a little thing that we inherited from the storybook, everything else is quite grounded, and you could learn a lot from this game. We teach a little bit of geography, a little bit of history, and you also get a lot of cool minigames. Our plan now that the game is done, because through the course of Level Up we made it basically as a client project and we finished it. So now the plan is to localize the game into different languages, add extra content and polish, and also make it work on mobile. And we're open for whoever wants to polish it by themselves. I think it's a really beautiful project, and nobody has taken it yet because I haven't been able to offer it. We barely finished it a few weeks ago, and we are excited to see where it can go. We see a lot of potential on the mobile market. We also see a lot of potential on Switch, and so far we don't have we have some offers from publishers, but we haven't decided yet. So please feel free to give us your ideas, and we're looking forward to hearing you out. Okay, and without any more hesitation, I want to show a little bit of gameplay of the game. This is one of the last areas of the game. There are three main ones. Basically, the city where you come from, and then a very cold place in Argentina. And this is the last place where you have to talk with some people. I'm not going to indulge too much into the dialogue because it's on a foreign language. But you have a lot of quests, and you can walk around and do different things. You can pick up objects and stuff. I'm going to go directly to some mini games. In this one, for example, you need to recognize your gestures by drawing on the sand, kind of to communicate with this indigenous person. And we also have some more physical games like this one, which is a little wink to an arcade game that we really like, where you are inside of the dream of one of the characters. So there is a lot to unpack in this game. And even though it's aimed at mostly a younger audience due to the original material and the direction that the client gave us, we feel like there is a lot of potential for this to be on a mobile phone other than the computer. And there are so far around 20 mini games or little interactions in total in the game. And all of the areas are feeling quite rich already. And we are still not done. We have a little bit more fuel to keep going and add some content to the game. So after you get to play the localized version, we'll be happy to talk if you want some kind of expansion or re-release. Due to governmental limitations, we had to release this game legally, but there are a lot of options like re-releasing this game in English or with all of these localized languages, or even doing a full-on port to console that is totally separate from any other online release. And that's kind of about it. I hope you guys get to enjoy this game once you get to play it, and we will be excited to hear back in case there is some opportunity that you want to offer us. And thanks a lot for your attention. And that's about it. Thank you, guys. Hello, I'm Gustavo Chico. I am head of Notepike, and we're here to do a little showcase. We are a small studio from Sevilla, Spain, and we like to take classics and give them a modern twist. We are 4 people. I am basically doing most of the programming and design because I have a background as a solo developer, but we obviously bring new programmers as we need, depending on the project scale. We have a strong art department with Guille and Pablo. I made games originally with Guille, and Pablo has been a great addition, and together we've been able to make quite a big scale of games that I will show you. And Alejandro is the last piece, making all of the audio and some of the design and art. We are all very multidisciplinary. And one of the projects that we are making is called Tretis. It's a game where you are the cursor of the classic game, and you are in a post-apocalyptic world. Basically, what will happen if you were outside of the mutated arcade machine of Tetris? It's a game about physics in general and about puzzle design. So in general, in Tetris, you will put pieces and they will fall into the correct place. But in Tretis, you find out the opposite just in the first few seconds of the game. You need to explore around and you need to understand the story based on the clues that we give you. It's quite an kind of left field and outside the box concept, and all of the puzzles are self-explanatory, so you don't get any tutorials or anything. You just need to figure it out. There is a lot of twists and turns, like in games that I've worked on before, like Quomp. We like to do very satisfying and challenging games with lots of twists and kinesthetics, lots of game use. Basically giving you new challenges and fresh mechanics every few minutes. We like also to subvert your expectations, so expect that from Tretis. We currently have like a small demo that I will show, just so you get an idea. But beforehand, I want to give you a few comparisons. We like a lot of all indie stuff, and in general, it's really hard to define Tretis. But if I had to, I will compare it to Quomp, for example, which is a game we sold to Atari. So Atari was interested in acquiring the IP, and they did. And they developed a sequel on their own with a new team. So they found a lot of potential in a game that was quite unique. So if you want to check out Quomp, you may also get a good idea of what Tretis aims to be. Also, a lot of old indie stuff is of our liking. And even though they are not maybe the most mainstream theme, they typically give out a very good response in the public recently. You can see it with a lot of games like Mosalina, and you can see it with the Balatro, which in itself is a game that you wouldn't bet a lot on, like a pixelated casual game with a twist. Well, we believe this is the way to move forward, and that's why we made a small showcase for you guys to play, and it's public. You can play it online, and I'm going to share a little bit of it. And what you do is control this cursor. All of the pieces have little faces on it, and that's almost all the info you get from the get-go. So whenever you start the demo of Tretis, you find yourself in this screen, which is basically a familiar place, but with something that is not quite right. right now you are kind of lost. And the only thing you know how to do is place blocks. And people, whenever we have shown this game before, people are always reacting in different ways to this screen. Sometimes they place blocks randomly until they see that they can go up on the screen, and then they are surprised and suddenly they have a new interest in this game and they don't want to stop playing. It's a very short demo. Right now we have a little bit of storytelling, a little bit of a water drip, and we don't really know what's going on. We only know that we are placing pieces and that they are falling and that they have little faces. They seem to be alive. And then we find ourselves in a little puzzle where you place pieces and this area seems to go up. And when we place enough, the area seems to lock up and we can go up. Now the areas of the screen are getting locked, as you can see, and you unlock others. And now you don't have, for example, the walls of the Tetris screen. So a piece can fall out and you can, in this case, get some very explosive feedback with the sound effect. You don't really have lives in Tretis. We don't really believe in that. We believe that you should feel free to explore and lose in whatever way you feel fit. And I won't spoil much more, but you will see a lot of traps and mechanical twists. It's a very short demo, so I will encourage you to go play it on the mobile phone or on the computer for free right now, online or downloading. And I would like to keep going with the presentation with a few more details of the game. Our plan right now is basically to tour the game around, keep getting feedback, because we feel that this is a game that is very dependent on not really opportunities, because the investment it's not too far from what a normal indie game will be. They're not looking for a big budget, but we do think that there should be a good brand back in this project once it's matured and it's ready to go out. Right now we are backed up not only by Level Up, of course, that they have paid us to go to Indie Day, where it was very successful in the stand, but also Ivy Devs and Jesus Fabre and Dear Villagers. There is a good potential for marketing there, but we're open for brands, in this case, to join us in this journey together. Development-wise, we are aiming this year to have a 1.0. We have a little bit of funding, and even though it's not going to be the game we would like to have, in the meantime, once we start, I will be looking for more opportunities, and we already have some in place with some publishers and companies. And so please feel free if that's something that sounds good to you. It's a game that will take around 9 months to make, but depending on the budget we make, we may extend it to 1.5 years or 2 years, because we feel it's a project that will really get a lot of more content with a little bit more time put into it, because we are a small team and we like to really bake our ideas together. Here are some skeleton screenshots from the game of what we already have apart from the demo. We have a lot of mechanics planned, and there is right now a lot of artistic experimentation going on. It was mostly me doing the art, so it will be fun to see what the artist's take is on the game. And lastly, some questions. Basically, the expectations for this game is something kind of similar to Pomp. Like we feel like this is a strong project that could fit very, very well in the market, and ourselves as a studio, we believe that we can keep making games, and the game will be ready hopefully by later this year. That's about it. Thank you for your attention, and I hope you look forward to what we have to offer in the future, Tretis-wise.
Did you enjoy these amazing projects? I'm sure you did. And remember, our 5th goal for applications is now open, so don't miss your chance to submit your video game project now. We can wait to see your talent in action and help you level up your studio and your game. It's been a pleasure sharing this space with you. See you at our future events. Bye bye.